Sometimes the biggest, most fascinating ideas are hiding in the plainest sight. Today, we're not going to tackle some huge, complex theory. Instead, we're going to look at something you use every single day, probably without even thinking about it. A single, common word. We're going to put it under the microscope, and you'll see just how deep our language really is. I want you to just imagine that for a second. What if your entire vocabulary, everything you could use to express any thought, any feeling, any idea, was limited to just 850 words? Sounds pretty wild, right? Maybe even impossible. Well, what if I told you that's a real thing? Yeah, this isn't just some random thought experiment. It's the whole idea behind something called the Basic English 850 list, or BE 850 for short. It's a real set of 850 words that were picked out to create a super simple, functional version of English that anyone in the world could learn. The whole point is, with just this core set of words, you can say pretty much anything you need to. Okay, so these words are supposed to be the absolute bedrock of the language, right? The simplest, most essential building blocks. But just how simple are they really? We're about to find out, because we're going to take just one of them and see what it's really all about. And our specimen for today is the word strong. It's on that BE 850 list, which means it's considered one of the most fundamental words in English. But as we're about to see, this so-called basic word is, well, it's anything but simple. It's the perfect example of all the complexity hiding just beneath the surface of our language. So, just how important is this word? Let me just throw a number at you, 61. Why 61? Well, that's how many different languages the Simple English Wiktionary page for strong has been translated into. I mean, from Arabic all the way to Vietnamese, this concept is so fundamental it has a home all across the globe. We're dealing with a truly universal idea here. All right, let's get into it. It's time for the dissection. We're going to break strong down piece by piece, and we'll start with the very first thing you notice about any word, just how it sounds. And right off the bat, we've got a difference. In the UK, you'll generally hear it with a rounder O sound, like strong. But in the US, it's often a flatter ah sound, strong. It's a subtle change, for sure, but it's our first real clue that this word isn't just one single rigid thing. It actually changes depending on where you are. Okay, so that's the sound. What about the meaning? Well, the first definition is the one that probably jumped into your head immediately. It's all about physical power, right? Muscles, force, the classic, straightforward meaning. And this example just nails it. When you hear the sentence, Arnold is very strong, your mind instantly goes to physical strength. It's concrete, it's easy to picture, and it's really the foundation of what this word means. But hold on, because the story definitely doesn't stop there. The word strong isn't just for our muscles. It also applies to our senses. It can describe a powerful smell or a really potent flavor, something that makes a big impression on your nose or your tongue. Exactly. A sentence like, "She wore strong perfume," uses the same exact word, but it paints a completely different picture. We just jumped from the physical world right into the sensory one, using that same idea of power, but in a much more abstract way. And believe it or not, it gets even more abstract. Check out this third definition. This one is all about quantity. It's used to talk about the size of a group, usually in a formal or even a military context. This has nothing to do with muscles or smells. It's about collective numbers. Just think about that phrase for a second. 5,000 strong. Here, the word strong is almost acting like a unit of measurement for a group's power. So let's recap. This one supposedly simple word can describe a person, a perfume, and an entire army. Talk about a serious range. Words don't just exist in a vacuum. They have relationships, kind of like a social network. They have friends, they have enemies, and they have family. And all those connections help to find what a word is and what it isn't. So, who's in the social circle for strong? Well, for that physical meaning, its friends are words like powerful, muscular, and buff. They all kind of hang out together. And on the flip side, you have its direct opposites, its antonyms, words like weak and wimpy. And having those opposites really helps draw the line around what strong actually means. And then, of course, you've got the family. Strong is like the root of this whole family tree of other words. Strongly tells you how an action is done. Strength is the noun. It's the concept itself. And a strong man is a specific type of person. Each one takes that core idea and gives it a brand new job to do in a sentence. Okay, let's zoom out and put all these pieces back together. We started with this idea that strong was a basic word, right? From that list of 850 chosen specifically because it was supposed to be simple. But what did we actually find? What we found is that this one basic word has at least two different pronunciations, three totally distinct meanings that cover everything from muscles to perfume to armies, and a whole social network of related words and opposites. Simple? I don't think so. It's an entire universe packed into a single word. And that brings us to the big final question I want to leave you with. If a supposedly simple word like strong, a word we all use without a second thought, is packed with this much depth and this much variety, what does that say about the thousands of other words we use every single day? It suggests that language isn't just some tool we use, it's this incredibly rich, complex, and beautiful system just waiting to be explored.